and it's a crayon story. Yeah? You ready? Yeah. You have questions already? Yeah.
Why is the crayon blue?
Well, we'll find out, right? All right, let's start. I'm very tall, so I'm trying to sit in the little chair. Okay, so this is called Red, and it's by Michael Hall, and it is a crayon story. This is Red the crayon, and he was what color?
Blue.
Yeah, what color? Well, what color is that?
Red.
Right? And he lets everybody know that he's the red crayon. So she's given some encouragement, and here's Scarlett. What do you think's going to happen? Yeah? Well, let's see what happens, right? Well, turns out that Red, he couldn't really do it, really. He says like this, and Scarlett says what? Oh my, let's try again. Because he should be doing red strawberries, but what's he end up with?
Blue.
Blue strawberries, right? So, Red's mother thought he needed to mix with other colors. So Olive says, why don't you two go out and draw something nice, like a round orange. And the yellow crayon says, a really big orange. And Red says, a really orange one. What do you think's going to happen?
It's going to end up green.
Let's see. What they really did make was a really big greenish one. And yellow says, yuck, right? But Red says, oops, because what can you do? Right? So, his grandparents thought that he wasn't warm enough. So, Silver and Gray, his grandparents, says, your class is making self-portraits for parents' night. Wear this warm red scarf. Because maybe if he wears the red scarf, then he could see what the color red should be, and that should help out, right? So, Silver, his grandfather, says, your class is making self-portraits for parents' night. Wear this warm red scarf. And Gray says, nice. This looks good on you. But it wasn't. And Silver and Gray said, ugh, dear me. Because if you look, what color is that?
Yellow.
And what color is that?
Purple.
And what about this guy up here?
Green.
Green. And over here?
Blue.
But who drew that?
Red.
Red did. So it should be what? So over here we have,
Orange.
and down here,
Green.
and all those colors were really good at drawing themselves, right? But it looks like Red's having a hard time. Let's see what happens. Everyone, all the other crayons, seem to have something to say. Amber says, sometimes I wonder if he's really red at all. Hazelnut says, don't be silly. It says red on his label. Cocoa Bean says, he came that way from the factory. Fuchsia says, frankly, I don't think he's very bright. Grape says, well, I think he's lazy. And Army Green says, right? He's got to press harder. Maybe that's his problem. Steel Gray says, does he really apply himself? Sunshine says, give him time, he'll catch on. And Sea Green says, of course he will. So it seems like all the other crayons are kind of giving Red a hard time, because all Red can do is make what color?
Blue.
But he should be making what color?
Red.
So what's his problem? Yeah?
He's not the right color.
Well, we'll find out, I guess, right? Well, Red didn't catch on, because Green went to make a green frog. Black went to make a black sheep. Brown went to make a brown cow. And then Red Ant went to make a red what?
Ant.
Well, what color is it?
Blue.
Right? Do you think he's having a hard time?
Yeah.
Then all the art supplies wanted to help. The masking tape thought he was broken inside and said, "This will help you hold together," and he put a little piece of tape around him. The scissors thought his label was too tight and says, "One snip should do it," and tries to give him a little snip. And then Red was also told maybe he wasn't sharp enough. So the sharpener says, "Stay still now," and he takes a little slice off. My hair makes me hot, I'm sorry. Even with all of their help and all of his hard work, what's he still drawing?
Blue.
Right? Do you think we can give him some help?
Yeah.
Let's see. It turns out Red just couldn't get the hang of it. There was black, there was yellow, there was green. What color should that be up top?
Red.
Well, what's he doing?
Blue.
Right? Poor Red. One day, Red met a new friend, and it was Barry. And Barry says, "Will you make a blue ocean for my boat?" Because we have a berry boat here. And what color is the ocean? Well, Red says, "I can't do the blue ocean, I'm red." And Barry says, "Well, will you at least try?" Yeah? So he did. And he drew a blue ocean. So Barry says, "Thank you, it's perfect." And Red says, "Well, you're welcome." It was easy. Why? Because what color does Red always end up making?
Blue.
Right? So Red continued, but he didn't stop there. He made bluebells, blue jeans, a blue bird, blueberries, and a blue whale. And Red says, "You know what? I'm blue." And he was blue. And everyone was talking. All the other crayons had something to say. Olive says, "My son, the crayon, is brilliant." Amber says, "Who could have known he was blue?" Hazelnut says, "I always said he was blue." Cocoa Bean says, "It was obvious." Berry said, "His blue ocean really lifted me." And Sea Green said, "All of his work makes me happy." Brown says, his blue strawberries are my favorite." Apple Green says, "He's so intense." Yellow says, "I'm going to make a green lizard with him, and it's going to be a really big one." Gray says, "I hear he's working on a huge new project." And Scarlet says, "He's really reaching for the sky." And you know what? He really was. Yeah? And that is the end.